it's Willy Wonka back at it again, giving you all the chance to win a golden ticket to my chocolate factory. And by chocolate factory, I mean my wallet. It's that magical time of the month again, and I'm not talking about menstruation. I'm talking about another $10,000 speedrun bounty that I'm issuing to the community on a game that no one has ever played, and I'm confident very few of you have ever heard of. Just like last time, this competition will last for 2 weeks. Whoever has the fastest time at the end of 2 weeks will be crowned the video game player of the century, the turbo, ass-beating, ass-eating, fucking gamer god barbarian champion of this speedrun bounty. So 2 weeks, fastest possible time, any percent route, so that's glitches and whatever it takes to beat the game in the fastest time possible. No using third-party software, cheat codes, or anything like that that tampers or modifies the game's files itself. Exactly the same way as we did it with Amok Runner last month. Now, I know your balls are blue and swelling right now because I haven't released the game's name yet. You're fucking frothing at the mouth, scratching at your neck, wondering what's the target. And just wait a little bit longer, allow me to engage in some more foreplay. I want to talk about more general information regarding these challenges. So I mentioned that I wanted to make this a monthly thing, a monthly event, and just like a basketball player with a good three-point shot, I'm following through. I am making this a monthly event. It will be a frequent spectacle on par with a cherished holiday like Christmas, but it comes very often. So I am going to be making a couple of additions though. So first, the $10,000 isn't just going to be a lump sum to first place. It wasn't with the Amok Runner challenge either, but I just want to make it clear, like up front, first place will get 6K, second place gets 2.5K, and third place gets 1.5. That's how it's always going to be divided. But I'm also doing another prize of $1,000 to whoever finds the biggest meta-defining glitch in the speedrun, the glitch that the community will vote on at the end of the 2-week competition that they believe was the most impactful in the speedrun itself. So this will incentivize glitch hunting, so even if you're not the best runner, if you find the best glitch, you can still get $1,000. That'll only go to the person that finds the most influential and most used glitch that saves the most time. It's going to be a community-driven thing there. And then the last adjustment is, I think going forward it's always going to have to be streamed. I was made aware that there is a bit of fishy business you can do when you're just recording it on your own end in private, and it makes it a little more difficult to verify authenticity when it's just a single recording that floats in. There is some dirty barnacles that could play into that, and just for the sake of pure fairness across the board, I think all of the runs need to be streamed so that way there is VOD evidence of everything. Just makes vetting it a little easier for the team. So those are the only main tweaks and additions. Everything else is going to play out exactly the same as the last challenge. So now let's reveal the next game. Starting today, the competition is live, and the battleground, the fucking war zone, is a game called Exodus from the Earth. This is on Steam. It came out in 2007, and I actually made 2 videos on this game 7 years ago. And just like the Men in Black hitting me with a neuralizer, I totally forgot I ever even played it until about 2 weeks ago on stream. I was scrolling through my library because someone asked me how many games I had, and I was showing them that the majority of my games of like 850 are actual dog shit no one's ever heard of, and I randomly clicked on Exodus from the Earth and saw I had 3.4 hours on it, and I had no recollection of ever playing it. So I went back and watched my videos on it, and then I actually looked up if there was a speedrun, and there is. There is one person, his name is Deluxe, who speedruns this game, and he currently holds the world record because he's competing with himself, obviously. But this guy has actually come up with a very interesting route for it. It's actually pretty optimized. There's a lot of glitches and tricks, and the game itself is actually interesting. So unlike Amok Runner, where the majority of it is you saying, Linda, abortion no good, and then like slowly walking around, this game is like actual full throttle action. So it should be a much more interesting speedrun, and there's already a blueprint, a template to start from thanks to Deluxe already spending time investigating and running it. So he does have a little bit of a lead, obviously, but there's 2 weeks for you to make up the difference, find new routes, find new glitches, new tech. I do think bunny hopping is possible in the game, so bunny hopping will probably be optimized movement throughout this. Now, there is a tutorial that Kronos released. Kronos is part of our team that both heads up the Discord as well as vets to make sure the runs are authentic. Absolutely integral to the overall bounty challenge, and really appreciate all of his good work. He's released a tutorial on how to set up like the auto splitter and get all of this like honky dory for this bounty challenge for Exodus from the Earth. I'll put a link to that video in the description. But one other thing that I need to mention is for this game as well, we're going to be enforcing a 60 FPS rule limit because this game also has a lot of wonkiness with higher FPS. So if you can get up to like 200 FPS, you can have some crazy physics happen, and that's going to be entirely hardware dependent. So there's just going to be some people that don't have that hardware because they couldn't afford it, just don't want it, and that's a very big disadvantage for them. So to make an even playing field, since everyone's competing for a lot of money, we're going to enforce a 60 FPS limit on this right out of the gate. Kronos goes over how to set that up in the video, so don't worry, it's very simple, not complicated. And that's really about it. Everything else is in that video on how to set it up. The game is Exodus from the Earth. 2 weeks to get the fastest possible time, or at least in the top 3 for money, or find the best glitch for $1,000. I'm excited. I think this is going to be an extremely fun game. I think this challenge is going to be another fucking banger. I'm expecting some heat, some fire. Also, I should very briefly cover the basics. When you do have a run that you want to submit, go to speedrun.com, go to the Exodus from the Earth category, and submit the VOD, submit the video evidence of it. And then it'll be vetted, make sure it's all real, no, fish paste, nothing weird about it, all legitimate. Then it'll obviously make it onto the leaderboard. So that's going to speedrun.com and submitting it there for that. And then also, I do highly recommend going into the Discord because that's just the optimal way of learning. There's an entire Discord set up for these bounty challenges that we're doing. So the link for that's going to be in the description as well. So if you want to learn the game and submit your shit or submit glitches that you find, that's the place to do it. So the link for that's in the description as well. And I think that really covers just about everything here. Again, I think Exodus from the Earth is going to end up being a much more fun to watch and play speedrun. It's a shooter, and it's a very goofy game at its core too. I'd also like to mention, since a lot of people were curious, there will be a Summoning Salt style video on every one of these bounty challenges because I had a ton of fun doing that. Chase was the main editor behind it, and I think he fucking crushed it. Kronos compiled all the video clips, all the graphs and everything. A ton of people have also been asking about the music, wondering where they can find it, like assuming it's royalty-free tracks somewhere. It's actually a custom track made by a friend of ours named Eli, who absolutely slapped it. It was fantastic, so I'm glad a lot of people really appreciated the music as well. So I think making Summoning Salt style videos after the competition ends is always going to be kind of a staple for it, so you can always expect that after these challenges as well. I'm so glad a lot of you really liked the Amok Runner one. That one was fucking fun, and I have high hopes that this one will be just as enjoyable, and hopefully more enjoyable for the runners, because I know with Amok, a lot of those glitches boiling down to RNG and just bad fucking luck had people truly miserable. I imagine people will look back on that as probably the most agonizing 2 weeks of their life if they were competing in this challenge. And that means a lot to me, actually. That's kind of special. I was able to contribute something in their life so profound that it'll last a lifetime for them. Not in the most positive way, I guess, but even still, just having that level of impact by setting them up with that game is, how can you not be at least somewhat kind of proud, holding your chin high on that? But anyway, I don't think Exodus from the Earth will be nearly as grueling, but I guess we'll see. Maybe it will. Hopefully not. But that's it. Challenge is live. 2 weeks. Get wild. Go fucking crazy with it. I'm excited to watch. All right, that's about it. See ya.